talking about how the marketing funnel has changed. I'm joined on stage by an incredibly strong panel. Katrina Smart from Mars, a connected commerce marketing agency. Jess Clark, who runs probably one of the best retail media networks across one of the highest value properties in the UK, John Lewis and Waitrose. And Diana Brazy, who works with literally, I think, hundreds of retail media businesses globally to help them build retail media solutions. I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes and then we will kick off. Okay, so is the funnel old hat? Why would I say something so ridiculous as that? Well, the marketing funnel was invented in 1898, which was actually before I was born, and so I think it deserves a bit of a looking at. The general assumption of a marketing funnel is that everybody operates in the same way when they make a purchase. There's something pulling you through that entire process, but actually my contention, which I'm going to show on 2 or 3 slides at the beginning of this presentation, is it might be leading us down a garden path, and it might be causing some serious problems. And if you think about even the really, really good Co-op and Lumen study, they were saying, have we got this the wrong way around? Are we thinking about branding and attention in the wrong way? There were presentations yesterday, at least 3 presentations were wrestling with this idea of, is this split between awareness and action, is it just wrong? And is it making marketing work badly? And I think that is. I'm disappointed that I'm not as clever as I thought I was, but everyone seems to have a similar thought about it, right? So there'll be 3 slides, okay? The first is me describing what I think the problem is and why I think it's a serious issue. What we think the solution, how it can be solved, but particularly, and why you've got such phenomenal experts on stage here, why retail media might represent a completely new form of marketing that can genuinely solve it. So, what you're looking at here is the performance of marketing spend over the last several years attached to business outcomes. And what you can see is that business marketing spend's been going up and up and up, total amount of marketing has been going up and up and up, but business performance has been dropping just when marketers need it to work the best, all right? Now, that's across open web media, that's across walled gardens, that's across everything, okay? What's happening is that there's massive fragmentation across channels, we're bombarded with messages in lots of different places, and it's highly, highly inefficient. It's all being propped up by extremely poor measurement, last click measurement, which allows for massive amounts of poor and low value marketing to occur in market, all right? That needs to be solved. The solution that most people will have is, let's try something like multi-touch attribution, let's try that. But as soon as you do that, you realize that there's as many types of conversion as there are people on this stage or people in this presentation, and everyone operates differently. And what's starting to happen is people drop in and out of marketing funnels. People might just see a single ad for a DTC product once on social media and buy. Commerce media might drive that. If you've got a highly integrated system like John Lewis, you can build around an audience so you're always there when they need you to be there. Now, why does that matter? There's a massive business problem, but that business problem creates an opportunity for people who can grasp it. This is how we think about it. Instead of thinking about marketing funnels and not understanding who your customers are all the way down to who they become, retailers have a marketing universe, right? They're always connected to their customer. They have first-party data. They have constant interactions across on and offline with their customers. They know where they are in the funnel. They know what they're buying. And because of that, they can bring that value to brands and advertisers and help them capture understanding where and when somebody exists to purchase. But the idea of this very, very old school funnel that everyone's going through probably is a little bit unhelpful. Now, the final part of that, how do you solve it? So there was this really good study came out recently, honestly like 2-3 weeks ago, Grace Kite at Magic Numbers, definitely follow her if you haven't online. She has done an enormous amount of study to show if you can stay connected to an individual, if you can communicate one view, one vision, one voice of your message in multiple channels, you get a massive exponential effect on business outcomes. So you can solve what is a very serious business problem right at the top of the market, okay? And the reason I'm so excited about retail media and why you're definitely going to hear some very, very strong points of view over here is retail media can solve that, right? Retailers have a connection to the customer. They have first-party data. They know what they're buying. They understand how to get in front of them at the right place. And critically, they know how to measure it to show whether brand advertising is working, whether attention is working, whether in-store should in fact be seen as top of the funnel or not. So they have this unique position that can solve everything. Now, I'm going to put that up. It's got massive numbers about Epsilon. Hope you enjoy them. So before I kick this off, can you put your arm up if you think that the marketing funnel might in fact be leading us down the garden path? Can you put your arm up if you think, actually, no, the marketing funnel is brilliant and I want to keep it, please? Keep your arms up, keep your arms up. No? Can you put your arms up if you just don't know? Can you give the panel a massive round of applause, please? Oh, sorry. So we're going to start off asking all of the panels. So I'll start with Katrina, if that's okay. So, Katrina, you have a huge view of what's actually being planned, bought in market through your role. How do you see the idea of a marketing funnel being impacted by retail media?
It's hugely been impacted by retail media, not only retail media, but social commerce as well. So when we looked at planning media 10 years ago, we were looking very much at the traditional funnel, thinking about a very, very simple customer journey, specifically in grocery, where you're looking at customers sees the ad, they see it on a bus stop, they're walking into the store, they'll see POS in store, they'll then go on to purchase. Retail media changed that completely through data and digitalization. So, the consumer is no longer just looking at one particular thing. They're constantly, looking at so many different touch points, especially around social commerce as well. So it's just completely changed. You have to think about it as thinking about it with one consumer and also thinking about it as a completely connected commerce journey so that you can actually target the consumer in so many different places.
So, Jess, yesterday you were talking about how there's a particularly strong audience within John Lewis and Waitrose, and they drive lots of value for you and for your partners. Could you explain how you, as a business, respond to some of those different ways that marketers want to buy and drive value as a retail network?
Yeah, I think you alluded to it there, but we know that no customer journey with John Lewis Partnership is linear. So actually what we've really been able to do is harness our customer data, our first party data, I should say, to be able to use it to understand how our best customers want to shop. So I covered that yesterday over there. Apologies if you missed it. But one of the key things that we've learned over COVID, a lot of our customers reverted to shopping online. So we saw about 80% mix of our sales going to online, but over the last couple of years, most of that has shifted back to how we saw pre-COVID years. So 60% of our sales online, 40% now in store. And that does shift a little bit when you look at some of our categories like beauty. It was interesting hearing the number 17 before, but actually a huge proportion of our customers who shop beauty want to do that in store. So we've had to reflect a lot of our retail media work to tailor to that customer. And we still obviously are supporting our digital network, but at the same time we're looking at our connected journey in store to be able to help boost getting those best customers in their purchase journey when they're there and they're ready to spend.
Yes. So, Diana, so when Jesse's saying that you're trying to focus on this connected user journey, you're exposed to huge numbers of digital transformation or retail media transformation jobs, really, aren't you? Mm-hmm. How are you seeing people coming into market and what it is that they're trying to achieve with EPAM?
Yeah, so I think in terms of going to market, the retail media promise hasn't changed much because we've been promising things we can't deliver for a long time. So things like we can build audiences using data, we can help you drive relevant and personalised communications, we can follow the customer through their customer journey, and then we can measure the impact of that and show you how many customers bought that wouldn't have bought. So I think that hasn't really changed. What we're seeing is the ability to use data, use technologies such as cloud computing, and I'm going to say AI, if done properly, to start to make those decisions in real time. really inform how you target, how you personalise, and do that in a much quicker and much smarter way. And I think the go-to-market is what we're seeing. I think you've seen this as well, Kat, with your Mars report card, is we're going away from POC to how do we industrialise and automate at scale. So how do we allow us to actually deliver on that promise, not just one-off for our big clients, but across the board.
So you said, how close do you think people are to doing that well?
I'm seeing some retailers really jumping in again with AI-based POCs to try and do that. Lots of ambition. The challenge always within retailers is there are so many stakeholders that are impacted by any of these big transformations. I know you live and breathe this every day, Jess. So getting your data in a good place and making sure that it's feasible to do that with data, working out your processes, how do you make the processes work before you start automating them, and how do you bring the stakeholders on a journey, allow them to buy into your changes, convince them it's the right thing to do for them, not just for retail media, and then also how to get investment and roadmap resource as well on the technology roadmap. Yeah.
So,
challenge.
Jess, if I could go back to you. So I was talking about that magic numbers report about how it's important to be around your consumer and being able to understand the what it is that they want to see. John Lewis has built, I think, quite strong out-of-home systems at the moment. So what's the role of all of that for you in this idea of connected user journeys and creating value for your partners?
So one of the key parts of the John Lewis partnership ethos is customer first. So we've really appreciated our first party data in a whole different way over the last couple of years as part of that transformation journey that we've been on. And we've actually partnered with dunnhumby to use their best in class data science to be able to map that better. And what we know from that is that we are able to, like I talked about, improve our connected in-store journey, but that takes time and cost, like Diana was alluding to. So at the same time, we're using the partners that we've got to improve either our technological solutions or our process solutions to improve in the journey. So we work with JC Deco, and we have expanded our proximity screen network close to John Lewis shops. So while we're sorting out our in-store bit, we're actually using the digital out-of-home network to drive customers in and then capture them through point of sale once they're in store. But actually using that data in the first place to understand how our customers want to shop, where they want to shop. And this is like our real valuable data. It enables us to activate key retail media touch points across that journey.
Yeah, it's really strong. So I'll probably end up asking all of you this, but Katrina, you have to effectively be able to buy some of these campaigns and buy these joined up campaigns. So what are the challenges for you in being, so actually one, do brands want it? And if they do want it, what are the challenges to being able to do it for them?
Yes, all brands want it. Whether they're able to execute in that way is a different question. So they do want it. They want to look at omni-channel planning. We talk about omni-channel for years and years now, but we're really still buying our campaigns in silo and planning them and getting the measurement back in silo. So we'd love to get to a place where consistently, and I think that's key because some retailers allow you to do it. We'd love to get to a place where actually you are booking true omni-channel campaigns with digital out of home and in-store media and your digital connected. But yeah, we're not quite there yet. But that's also a problem on the brand side because they also have organisational challenges. So you'll have more of your performance driven search media, which is very disconnected than the in-store media or even your on-site digital media and off-site digital media. So there's still a lot of challenges around that.
So what for you to actually execute some of these things? Anything stopping you, or is it all?
So I would echo both what Kat and Diana have said. So the biggest challenge is driving the revenue sales growth that we need to drive to demonstrate to the business the opportunity around retail media, both internally, but also securing the funds, like the cost base, to be able to make some of these improvements at the same time to do exactly what Kat's describing there. And we were talking about it, weren't we? We always go back to the fact that we need to have the people who have got the expertise in-house for us, which is really important. We need to have the processes right, so we're not just putting sticking plasters over that end-to-end execution. And we need the technology, so hence partnering with Epsilon as well. Get that in there for you. We need the technology in order to improve our customer experience, but also our client experience.
Yeah. Final question. So if you think that the idea of a marketing funnel might be holding us back a little bit, What do you think is changing in retail media over the next 12 months to provide a better form of marketing that creates more value for brands?
Is that for me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we've got to be really clear. Retail media is just one of the ways that retailers talk to customers, and probably not the most important one from a retailer perspective. They've got big strategic objectives about how they want to grow share of wallet, how they want to grow loyalty, frequency of visit. So seeing retail media as one of those touch points and allowing a full customer touch point optimization across all of those touch points using the data that shows you what the customer journey is, where they might go next, and not actually providing conflicting messages. So it's a really big shift in how you think, big shift in people. So not owning certain channels, not owning certain inventory, and actually allowing data to define what you do next rather than your own personal agenda and your own personal KPIs. So I think that's what we're going to see next. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'd echo everything that you've said. However, I think one of the biggest opportunities in retail media networks is having an end-to-end capability to campaign manage. So we, in the brand teams, we work across very big matrices. So whether that be the commercial teams, the buying teams, our marketing teams, we're trying to bring it all together, and actually to have that connected, seamless experience in-house will give a more efficient experience for our clients.
And actually, when you're asking about what was holding us back, that's the one thing I think that's holding retailers back, is they can't scale efficiently because it's so manual.
It's really manual, and like we said, putting sticking plasters over everything, because we know where we want to get to. It just takes time.
Okay, so final question, Katrina. Apart from how hard it is to actually buy, what's stopping you taking all of the money off of Meta and Google and giving it all to John Lewis?
We're now best friends.
I think the key thing that's stopping it is measurement. Being able to have access to measurement really easily, being able to access insight on your audiences. You know, each retailer is in a very different place when it comes to their retail media network journey. So we're not consistently there yet to be able to access that, and also it's being able to see that across retailers as well. You know, we don't think about a consumer going in and just shopping in a Tesco or just a John Lewis. You know, we shop everywhere, so we need to be able to have that total view of what the consumer's doing. And right now, you know, with things like Amazon and the new to brand attribution and looking at AMC Insights, it's just one retailer's view. Like, how do we then move the needle and start to take in data from John Lewis and data from Boots and other retailers to be able to see that total thing? So definitely, I would say measurement.
Okay, well, thank you very much for all of your insight. I hope you all found it very, very interesting. Please give them all a massive round of applause.